up today?
Hey, how's it going?
You doing all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Hiding from the kids in their room.
Oh yeah, I'm hiding from mine. My mom has mine. Sometimes my grandma will have them. Sometimes my mom. Sometimes my dad. I'm
Yeah.
lucky. We have my parents' house and my grandparents' house, and I just live 4 minutes down the road. I
Oh,
come here and do
nice.
the podcast. That's what I do. But yeah, man. You're in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, I'm in Sulphur, Louisiana. So in the heel of the boot. We're right next to Texas, about 20 minutes from the border of Texas.
Okay, got it. I'm such an idiot. I'm thinking like when I can visualize the heel of the boot, but I'm thinking like east, and I just had it flipped around. Okay, got it.
Yep, yeah, no, west side.
Thinking of the shape of Louisiana, but like flipped. Can you tell us like your first and last name, and then the name of the place, and then tell us like all about the place, like what kind of classes you guys offer, all that kind of stuff.
Right on, absolutely. So I'm Tyler Scalisi. I'm a second degree black belt in jiu-jitsu or Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You gotta be careful now which one you say.
Okay.
Uh and my gym is Olympic Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here in Sulphur. I've been running it 9 years myself now, and we do two different kinds of kids classes, the tinies and the big kids. Got an adult program with a lunch class, evening class, and I'm in the process of rebuilding our competition team. I kind of had a lapse there. We had two babies the last 2 years, so things were
Oh, really?
yeah, I got two under two,
Wow.
man. It's an adventure.
Are
Oh,
those your only kids, or you have more?
no, I have an older girl. So I have an 8-year-old little girl, and then we have oh crap. Rome will be the first boy will be 2 in September, and then Maverick will be 1 in August.
Okay, wow.
So
Mine
it
are
was
kind of far apart like that too. Mine are 6 years apart. My son is 9 and my daughter's 3.
mm,
Um, yeah. Well,
ugh,
wow, man, you've been you've been busy, dude. As far as
it's
like,
been an adventure.
yeah, little babies, back to back. That's a lot.
I
Um,
don't think I've slept in like 2 years, so if I lose it, that's what it was.
okay. Um, what about gi and no gi? You do both?
Absolutely, yeah. I've always loved both, so I make everybody do both. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Can you tell me like you said second degree black belt in jujitsu, and then you said Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Can you
Well,
hit on that in any way you'd like?
it's coming just more and more of a fad. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, American Jiu-Jitsu, and yada yada yada. I just figured I'd check the box, lest there be Instagram comments.
Which one are you?
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, tongue twister black belt. That's what I am.
Got it. What is the difference?
Nah, I really don't think there is one. It's just a marketing term. They're trying to change things with marketing. So
Okay, yeah, sure.
that's
Maybe,
I
maybe
think that's
different
it.
people have different answers, I just was kinda
Yeah.
wondering, yeah.
I think it's just going from, if you look back at the history, it used to be Gracie Jiu Jitsu, then it was Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's the same thing. It's just a marketing thing. It
Sure.
seems kind of silly to me, honestly. So I try not to get involved.
What's your, what's your kinda, like, overall philosophy as far as, like, teaching there? Do you have, like, a certain kinda, like, overall philosophy as far as how you run things or do things or anything like that?
Um, man, I'm trying to think. The best way I could say it is I still want us to be as high level as we can achieve for each individual person and their goals and things like that. But it doesn't have to be like a 80s training montage where everybody's bleeding and, oh man, I ripped my shoulder and my knee because I didn't tap, but I didn't tap, bro. We should be having fun still. So I try to keep, I'm a goofy guy naturally. I'm not a super tough guy kind of guy. So I just
Not like
bring
a
that into it,
super
but still
serious
train
guy?
hard. No, it's not me. I'm a goober. So I try to still be myself with it, but like, hey, we're still here to train hard. If we go compete, we're there to win. But
Yeah.
hey, man, we're doing jujitsu with our buddies. Most of us have to go home to the wives and kids and stuff. Like,
Mhm.
let's be smart about it.
Okay, cool. Um, do you do competition yourself?
Yes, I'm slowly working back into it. I used to compete every weekend if I could. It
Okay.
started slowing down once we started having more babies and things like that. But for a good since I got my black belt when I was 27, it was 2019. From 2019 to when Rome was born in 2024, every time there was a comp, I was there as much as I could. Wasn't always winning
Really?
them, but I was always there.
Did you enjoy it?
It's man, it's one of my favorite things to do. It's still one of my favorite things. The way I've kind of changed it up for myself now is when I bring my kids' team out to compete, I just jump in if there's something to jump in there and stuff like
Okay.
that, just so I can stay active with it. If IBJJF comes to Houston or somewhere I can drive, I try to hit those. But as far as like flying the pans and stuff right now, it's just on the back burner for the time being.
What's so fun about it?
Uh, I'm gonna sound like a dork, but have you ever seen the movie Young Guns?
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez.
Yeah.
The scene where Billy the Kid is talking about testing yourself when they're hiding in the thorns and all that.
I don't remember,
It,
but
it
yeah, okay.
oh man, so he has a whole spiel on you got to keep testing yourself because as soon as you stop, that's when you get slow and that's when they kill
Yeah.
you.
Okay, okay.
And it's just that, like, okay, I'm a martial artist. I'm never gonna be Gordon Ryan. Made peace with that, but I got to keep on the path, testing myself, staying sharp. Just what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. It's the only like true way to test. Yeah. Right?
Other than getting in fights at Walmart,
Yeah.
or doing MMA again, that's as good as it's gonna get.
What about any instructors there? Do you want to highlight anybody there?
Man, I've got a lot of people that really help me out. Some of my black belts are Ryan Charles, Brandon Fontenot. One of my original instructors is back in the area for work, Aaron LeBrun. So it's great having him there. I've got
Mhm.
Coach Christina, Coach Courtney, Coach Shive, a bunch of people. Danny, a ton of people come and regularly jump into class and help me out with all the kids and stuff. So I'm just very grateful to have a very good support system.
You said that you took a break with the competition there, right? Because I mean,
Mm.
your time. What kind of like all goes into that? You don't have to go through everything, but kind of hit on it a little bit.
Um,
Like what kind of logistics and why is it kind of a
it's just I mean, when you sign up for the event, that automatically you have the goal and the pressure of the goal and stuff. So that's something you're focusing on, whether you mean to or not. And for myself, I mean, I'm lifting weights, training hard, so I'm beat up and more beat up than the average weightlifting and just training hard. Like you're ramping things up to compete. And then, so my professor, Eric Raposo, is in Slidell, so it's about a 3.5 hour drive for me.
uh,
So for several years there, once or twice a week, I drive down, train for the two midday classes, drive back, teach at night. And that's just gas, wear and tear on your vehicle, wear and tear on me. Not here to change diapers and put babies to sleep and stuff. It's just
yeah,
a lot of effort went into it. And it was a lot of fun while it lasted. But at the end of the day, you got to take care of wife and babies. And that's a good thing.
sure. Can you go back and tell us kind of like why and how you got into jujitsu and kind of tell us how like how everything led up to the academy over the years?
Yeah. I was a overweight dork of a kid. I started this beginning of my senior year in high school. I was about 250 pounds, and I know I
Okay.
have a huge Easter Island head, but I'm 5'8" on a good day. So
Okay.
5'8", 250 is rough.
I'm
And
5'7" on a good day. I said I'm 5'7" yesterday on a podcast, and that was a mistake. And,
uh,
I should have, like, corrected myself, but I was let the guy continue to talk, whoever it
mm.
was, or if it was Lisa, I'm not sure. I'm 5'6", alright?
Well, so my
5'7",
my
never.
dad says he's 5'8", and I'm just like a smidge taller than him. So I like to lie to myself and say I'm 5'9", but I know it's not true. Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
but we,
my grandpa was 5'7". I always felt like I was the same height as he was, and so I always said 5'7" till years ago, 5'6", yeah. Oh, it was so
yeah,
sad.
they're just trying to crush us, man. No love. But we have a little water park and stuff here in Sulphur that I worked at with some buddies of mine when I was in high school, and they were both. So there was only one school in our area back then, just over the bridge in Lake Charles, and they were both blue belts in jujitsu, and we were all watching UFC and stuff, and you know how teenage guys are talking smack to each other. And I was like, oh man, well I'd try that, and they're like, ah, no, you won't, pansy and yada yada yada, and I was like, okay, cool. So then I went and did it. And man, I remember it was like I got struck by lightning the first class. It was a simple arm bar from mount, nothing, very, very basic arm bar. And I'm telling you, I knew right then and there, like, all right, I got to figure out how to do this. I love it. I got to do this. Got to figure
How
this out.
what was it like doing it the first time being overweight?
I I didn't realize. I mean, I still would like lift weights with my buddies and stuff like that. I just wasn't a natural athlete, and I ate a horrible diet, man. I just abused soda and junk food and stuff like that. So it's I didn't realize like I was insecure about my weight, but I didn't realize until I started losing weight. Like, oh man, you were
Uh,
pretty up there and stuff.
yeah.
But it was I got through the class and all that, signed up right then and there, and then just is anytime I could be on the mats since then, I'm on the mats. I'm still like that now. I've been training. It'll be 16 years officially this August, and
Mm.
anytime I can go train, I want to go train.
What did you love about it? What hooked you?
Um, I wasn't diagnosed at the time. I just recently got diagnosed as ADHD. But when I'm training, and I was talking about this at lunch class today with one of my students. But if I'm training, I don't hear all the extra noise and stuff like. It's one of the very few times everything's quiet
Okay.
for me. And most
Yeah.
of the time, I hear all the little sounds and stuff like that in the room, easily distracted, stuff like that. But if I'm training hard and I get 2, 3, 4 rounds in, everything's quiet. I don't have time to think about anything. I'm just huffing and puffing and training. And then I think that was probably one of the bigger things. You make friends. It's a wild thing, especially. Like I said, I was 17 when I started training. There's not a whole lot a 17-year-old kid has in common with a 38-year-old nurse anesthetist. I always
No,
screw that word up. Nurse anesthesia.
nurse
But hey,
anesthetist. Yes, I know. I was going to school for that before,
oh
and I
really?
got out of nursing school. Yeah, a long time ago. So I know
Yeah.
how to
So
say it. Go ahead.
he not a whole lot we have in common, but hey, he's
Yeah.
taking time out of his training time. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do. It's like there's a community there and things like that. And it's just I don't know. I was bit by the bug, and then where we were or where we are geographically, especially 2010, 11, there wasn't a whole lot of training jujitsu for jujitsu. Everybody was training jujitsu to do MMA. So you end up doing some MMA along the way and things like that, and things just went on and on as they go.
Yeah. Hmm. It how in the world did you I mean, did you start teaching at some point?
So I'm sure y'all have it when you take your son to jujitsu. I was the annoying young guy from the adult class that had no responsibilities. So I'd be in the parking lot before anybody was there to open up every class. Like, all right, I'm gonna sit here and play on my phone or whatever until someone gets here, and then I'm gonna sit in the corner while they do their kids' classes and play on my phone until it's time for my class. And by
Okay.
the time I was blue belt, I was training with my coach here in Sulphur. He had opened his spot here in Sulphur, and I said I just got my blue belt, hadn't been one long, and every day I was beating him there. Like I was addicted to jujitsu to the point where like, I would tell people in job interviews as a high school kid, like, "Hey, look, these nights I'm not gonna come to work. You can schedule me, but I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah,
I'm going to
it's funny, man.
jujitsu. Don't tell my dad if you fire me. I'll tell him, but just this is what's gonna happen, guys."
Was it a lot of nights?
So no, back then when I first started and all that at the time, you were lucky if you could get 2, 3 classes a week.
Yeah.
There'd be 2 classes and then an open mat on Saturday. And it's like, hey, look, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, guys, don't call me. This is what I'm doing. And then as I got to training and making friends in the gym, like, hey guys, coach gave me a key. I'm just saying we can go train, he said
Oh,
we can go
shoot.
train
Yeah.
and just couldn't stop.
I mean, what was addicting about it?
I really wish I could explain. It's still like it's my favorite thing to do now.
Is it because it's like a puzzle or, it's visually
It's
stimulating, or is it more so because it's calming?
it's the puzzle. I get to be. I was not something I someone who considered themselves athletic when they were younger, but I managed to turn myself into somewhat of an athlete. I'm not God's gift to it, but I'm able to work. It's just
So you're proud of your progress, of course.
it's almost turned into like a framework for me to work out everything else I do because I was
Oh,
able to like okay, my goal was to get my black belt in 10 years. I got it in 9.5. I was ecstatic. And not that
um,
speed matters or anything like that. That's not the point. My point was like, okay, jujitsu taught me how to eat a whole lot of shit. because you get beat up a ton. But if you can just do that, you'll get what you want eventually. And I kind of use that framework in other aspects of life, and it works. Just like, okay, this part sucks, but eventually I'm going to get back on top of this, and it's not going to be that bad, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah. That's an interesting way to put it. It's like, it helps you work out everything else. Yeah, that
It's
makes
a
sense.
good frame, easy
It's like
framework.
taking a walk, but,
Mhm.
different. And how did you start teaching? You started like
Oh,
it's
so
kinda
I would
like
show up early, and
inevitable?
they just finally said, "Hey, look, you're here during kids class. Quit being a bum. Come help with kids class." And that was when I was a blue belt. Did that until late purple, early brown belt. No, that's not true. More. I started getting some adult classes at purple belt here and there, couple adult classes here and there at brown belt. But then towards the end of my brown belt, my coach just had a lot going on. Kind of had one foot in, one foot out, and I made the offer to buy it and ended up working out that way. And that was in 2017. And by then, toward the end of that, as we were working everything out, I'd already been teaching pretty much all the classes for a few months before then, and just kind of ran with it from there. Couldn't
Yeah.
couldn't help myself. I was like, all right, let's go.
Was it a big step for you, or is it kinda just like a natural thing?
It's what I mean, kind of like I was talking about from that first armbar in that first class. I knew I wanted it. I always wanted to run an academy, and I just want to
Oh,
make
okay.
my. If I can make a living doing jujitsu, my logic was if I can make a teacher's salary on jujitsu,
Yeah.
I made it. That's a good
Yeah, yeah,
living, and I get to do what I want to do. Which how many people get to say they do what they love to do?
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good way to think of it, like a teacher's salary. Oh, geez, not
If I can make a
like
teacher's salary, that's a
yeah,
good living, and I
you'll
get
be
to do
good.
what I want. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Um, and so, like, just tell me kind of briefly, like, what has jujitsu done for your personal life over the years? If you could put it in
I,
words.
I'd say it. How do I say it? I think everybody needs something to contend with and kind of polish their rough edges, if that makes sense. Gives you
Sure.
something to do.
Everybody has rough edges in some way, yeah.
Everybody's got something we got to work on, and jujitsu really helped me work on a lot of my edges, just from the way people you'll get in your own head as you try. Like, oh man, I was doing great. I finally won a couple tournaments. Man, I got my new belt. Oh, this guy dropped in from out of town and tapped me 27 times on the night I got my new belt. That happened to me, by the way. It was awesome. Or, you know, hey, I've been coming to class a ton and now I hurt my knee because I did something stupid. But now I'm sitting here on the sidelines for 6 weeks. It sucks. But what's something I mean, I'm gonna walk around the mat on crutches still, and what can I do? How do I still get to be part of it? It just there's a bunch of different things that I'm sure people that are great at football or playing music or whatever their thing is would tell you the same thing. It helped me figure out me in a lot of ways, and I think it can do that for people in a big way. It worked for me.
Awesome. And what about, what makes that place so special there? Why do people keep coming back? Why do they like it there?
Man, I honestly think people keep coming back because they can't believe I haven't screwed it up yet. Um, no, we have a good time.
Okay.
You know, there was an
Yeah,
era.
you seem like a laid back, like, fun guy to be around. Yeah.
I don't want the dramas or politics or any nonsense or I don't care how tough you think you are. There's going to be somebody tougher here. Like just relax, be nice to each other, train. I said that you know I've got law enforcement. I've got the stereotypical jujitsu meme, right? I've got kids that are doing kid stuff. I got cops and degenerates and moms and dads and whatever else. But everybody likes jujitsu. It's like, look, we all like this. Save the drama for your mama. Be nice. Let's train and have a good time. Tell some jokes. Listen to some music. Try to choke me. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. I bet your personality comes through, into the
It's
vibe there. It sounds like it
at
probably
my
does.
gym. It's great because I'm very comfortable. I'm a naturally actually a very shy person. I very introverted most of the time. Like I spend all my time at my house if I'm not at the gym. I really don't care about going out or I planted sunflowers in the back with my little girl. I just like to go look at my sunflowers.
Yeah, yeah.
Watch. So
I like
it's
to ride the golf cart with my kids. Yeah, well, that's
yeah.
what we just did right before this.
Oh, nice. Yeah, exactly. I'm very, very like even if me and the wife go out to eat, it's like, all right, we went out to eat. Let's go home. I just want to go home and sit on the couch. I'm chill. Uh, or like I said, so at my gym, it's not bad, but I've been asked like I taught a self defense thing in for one of the sororities at UL one time, and I stuttered the whole time. It was hilarious, I'm sure, but I just couldn't do it. It's not for me. So so we have a good time, and that's just I think that's some of it is I crack a lot of jokes. Not all of them always super appropriate, but it when I get nervous, I just try to laugh and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure, like, it comes across like, it's just a chill place, right?
That's the hope, man. Like we're gonna train hard. I'm there. Like I said, I used to compete as much as I could, and I'm my new goal since I'm not competing as much is to really turn my kids competitors or have a kids competition team, and just have them wreck other kids in a
Yeah,
respectful and nice way, but just wreck them.
yeah.
And that's my new little project that I'm working on for the gym. So I'm excited about that.
What do you, if, if somebody's thinking about training or they're getting their kids into it, what kinda, like, what would you say to them as far as, like, what jujitsu can do for their lives?
It You're gonna get out what you put into it, just kind of like with anything else. So I think one of my biggest hurdles is I hate the Karate Kid for this reason. Love the movie; it's a great movie, but for this one thing, I hate it. Is everybody thinks it's gonna work like the Karate Kid? I'm gonna put my kid in martial arts. I got Daniel-san. He's gonna wax on, wax off. He'll be able to defend himself, discipline, yada yada yada. And it's true if that's what they want out of it. But I'm sure that every other gym has it. Like, oh, hey, I want to sign my kid up today because he needs discipline. It's like, well, hey, man, I see your kid an hour. If you bring him twice a week, I've got class every day for every class. If you want to train Monday through Friday, or actually no, Monday through Saturday, you can train. There's a class.
Yeah,
So if I see you once or twice a week out of all the classes we have, dude, that's an hour and a half, 2 hours. I get to hang out with your kid and do martial arts and set an example and things like that. You got to do it at home. You got to help and still like, hey man, you're doing jujitsu. You got to act right. Hey, if you don't do
yeah,
this, you're gonna get mollywopped at class. Whatever. It's not magic. It's just like taking your kid
yeah,
to wrestling class or football practice or whatever else. You're you're there to work, and that's where the if you do the work, you get the benefits. But if you're just there, picking your nose or grown up scrolling on Instagram instead of paying attention and training or whatever else may be, of course you're not going to get all the benefits out of it. But if you want the discipline or the physical fitness or whatever the case may be, you got to pursue those things actively with this as the framework.
right, right, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's easy to do if you just do it. Yeah,
You got to
right.
do it. Yeah, I mean, some places do it. They do like the tough guy. We're just going to train super hard. Some places are goofy. Some places are very formal. Some places are not. You just got to find your vibe. At the end of the day, you want to hang out with people you like because we're all gonna hurt and get beat up. Like it's just we're we're not baking cookies. We're doing jujitsu. There's gonna
Like
be
what?
bumps and bobos, and you just got to find people you get bumped and boboed with.
Bring the new Ninja Turtle Band-Aids. Yeah.
100%.
Hey, how many days a week do you recommend people for, I don't know, somebody who's not training to compete, but, let's put it this way, the minimum that you suggest, like, how many more than one? Do
The
you
minimum,
some
I
people have, like, a
think
certain number. Do you say, like, 2 or 3 or
I would say like if you're just a general hobbyist, I'm kind of a man. I'm a bit of a psycho. I think you should train every day if your body will let you. But if you're trying to start at a slower pace and just ease into it, 3 days a week is a good place to start. Especially if the academy you're going to has like a beginners program, they're going to take good care of you. the The key would be to realize, kind of like I was saying about the karate, it's not magic. You're not learning these
yeah,
magic that are
That's what
not
made
going
me
to
think of the
hurt.
question. Yeah. Like
You
the
got to
time you're putting
stretch
into it.
and lift weights and try to eat a little better. But that's one of the benefits you get from it if you take it serious. Like, hey, look, I'm really into this martial art now, but I'm not stretching or I'm not lifting weights. And I'm not talking about being a pro bodybuilder. I lift weights 3, 4 days a week. I'm not trying to impress anybody, but just enough to not hurt as much when I get done teaching 6 classes in a day.
Yeah.
You got to take care of the machine. And same thing, yeah, training super hard. So sometimes you get a little disappointed, little Debbie Downer stuff. You didn't tap out the guy you thought you were supposed to tap out today. You got to take care of that too. Go listen to some motivational stuff or watch Rocky, something, but don't sit there and cry about it on your Instagram. Oh, so and so tapped me out today, and oh, just too stupid. It's like, no, bro, you just got to take care of yourself.
Yeah. That's how you grow. That's the only way. I guess that's what jujitsu provides you. That's the that's a part of the path to the growth
Hmm.
is the difficult moments, right?
Yeah, no, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, man, for your time today. I really appreciate your story. I'd love for you to be on again. Maybe we could do like a tour of the place or something.
Oh
You
man,
know, see
anytime
what's
I
going
would
on.
love that. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'd have fun. All right, man. Well, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Take
You
care,
guys take it
Tyler.
easy.
Thank you, buddy. Bye bye.
Bye.
Hey, man. How's it going today? You doing all right today?
Everything is great.
Good. Good. Can you tell me your first and last name, the name of the academy, where you guys are? You're in Louisiana, right? And
That's correct.
just talk about the academy, the classes, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. My name is Kevin Bellard. We have two locations, one in Baton Rouge and one in Central Louisiana. The name of my academy is Bayou Jiu Jitsu and Self Defense. We offer classes for 4 to 7 year olds, and then 8 to 12 year olds, and 13 above go with the adults. We have classes every single day, Monday through Friday. We have open mat on Saturday and Sunday. So we're open 7 days a week,
Okay. Wow.
which not a lot of academies are, but I try to have as many classes as I can. We have a 4:30 to 5:30 a.m. class Monday through Friday. You'd be surprised how packed that class is. It's really packed. And then we have a lunch class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then the evening classes. And we
What was
have
that class that was so
you-
packed that you said? What was that? What was that
it's the
time frame?
it's the breakfast club. It's 4:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m.
Oh,
And there's
dang.
probably
I didn't hear the AM. What?
yeah, you'd be surprised at how we probably have 10 to 12 people in there every morning, which is for that time is awesome.
Yeah.
So these guys, they go to
4:30?
work in the plants. They go to work at the
I know
plant,
they're forced to
and
because of
so
work. I get it, but still.
yeah, yeah, but it's packed. It's packed. And so
Do you guys offer,
we offer judo for kids and adults. We have that, and we have MMA for kids and adults also. We have a women's only class on a Sunday. Man, we got classes. So it to to try and please everybody, everybody can. So I'm trying to take away all the excuses, like, oh, I can't make it these days, but we have it every day, different times of the
uh-huh.
day. So I try to take away all the excuses I can because people are really good with coming up with excuses as to why I can't, So
Sure, sure. Yeah, that's just human nature, right?
yeah.
What about I have 2 questions I wanna write them down. First of all, the kids MMA class, um, how old are they? What's the youngest?
So that class is 6 to 12 year olds in that class. And we probably keep about 10 to 12 kids in that class. Our instructor
Oh,
is a professional MMA fighter, but he's phenomenal with the kids. I mean, phenomenal. And they're not killing each other. It's just striking mostly for them and kicking. And they have you know, our grappling is mostly done in jujitsu, but they'll do a little bit, there also.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, can you give us kinda like a visual of, like, what that is? Are they striking each other? Are they striking bags only? Is it a little bit of a both? They're not hitting each other too
So it
hard? How did that work at, like, 6 years old, like, let's say?
so the way they do it is a lot of striking with the pads, a lot of footwork, a lot of agility drills. Um, there's not hard sparring in the kids class. I mean, not at all. It's just touch and go, touch and go. It's not hard sparring. And so I call it jujitsu 101, so it's very kid friendly. And the parents, a lot of the parents are there. The parents love that class. So it's very
Okay.
popular.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, I would love for my son to try that. I guess it's just kind of like figuring out what's the best way to do it, without them getting hurt, all that kind of stuff. But I'm sure if you just put your mind to it, somebody professional can do it,
Our
right? I
instructor
just
is
don't hear
phenomenal.
a lot at that young of an age. But of course, you can do anything to some degree. So I'm sure you guys are
Exactly.
doing it right. Yeah. I just don't hear it much. That's why I had the question of it. What about the women only class? How's that going? Do you have a lot of ladies who like that?
It's going really well. It's going really well. In fact, it's brought more women into the academy strictly because of that class. Like they can join the regular membership and do all the jujitsu classes, or they can, for a fraction of the price, they can do the women's only class on Sunday. And I probably picked up 6 or 7 women who just only do the women's only class, and they love it. Our black belt instructor, Professor Candace, she leads the class, and it's women only in the building, so they feel really comfortable. They like it.
Have you seen like a transition in either way? Uh, Ladies going from the women only to the regular class, or vice versa?
Yes, I would say more of going to the women's only class to jujitsu class also, and so they started out there,
Also,
feel comfortable, and then they transition and they go to both. We have lots of women who do both.
yeah.
Lots of women who, yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, since you know, I'm sure it helps them kind of feel comfortable being that close to somebody, having the women's class. That's what I've heard before. And then it gets them more comfortable, doing the regular class. Yeah.
It
That's
builds
nice to have
confidence for
that.
them. Yeah, it
Yeah.
builds confidence for them, and they feel comfortable, and once they feel comfortable, they're ready for, you know, maybe a tougher challenge, or just more realistic, in case I was attacked by a man. Okay, sure, I can handle these women,
Well,
but could I really handle the man, in that situation? And so I think that's what brings them over.
do y'all offer gi and no gi, or
We
one or the
do,
other?
we do, we do. So we do
Both.
gi every day except for Wednesday. Wednesday, all the classes are no gi. And at open mat class, we have, which is just it's a really cool class. Everybody loves it. The music's up really loud. I have this big, huge. You've seen those huge, big ass fans that they have. So I have one
Yeah.
of those, and
I love those. Yeah.
I love that
It
thing.
makes
It's
you,
it's
even
a,
if
it's a life
it just
saving.
makes you feel good. I don't know why.
It does. It does. Everybody compliments
Just
that
seeing it.
fan when they come in for the first time. They're like, "Oh my god, I love that fan." So yeah. But that those
Well,
Saturday classes and Sunday classes, like I said, it's not classes, just open mat. But that's everybody's
yeah.
favorite.
Take us back as far as back as you want, as far as like how you got into jujitsu, and tell us a story kind of, and then lead us into like, having the academy. Is that okay?
Sure, absolutely. Um, so my story is kind of a strange one. It's not typical. Um,
Oh, good.
I
Those are the good ones.
Even better, huh? It's kind of funny too. So I was living in California in the Bay Area, and I used to watch the UFC fights a lot. And uh, I had a neighbor who lived up the street. We're friends, and he had never seen the UFC fights. And I invited him over a couple times, and we would make it. Every time the fights would come on, he would come down, and we started talking about jujitsu. I said, "Man," because jujitsu was killing it. They were dominating. So we were talking about, man, we really need to do jujitsu. We need to do that. And we talked about it a couple times, and the subject just got dropped, and we never talked about it again. And then about 8 months later, I was needing to borrow a tool, and so he wasn't home. He said, "Just go to my house, and Erica will show you where the tool is." So she was leading me through the garage, and I look up and I see a gi hanging up, and I'm like, "What the heck is that?" She's like, "Oh, Mark has been doing jujitsu for 8 months now. You didn't know?" And I'm like, "No, he didn't tell me." And she's like, "He just wanted to be better than you whenever you started, so he can kick your butt," basically. And
Are you there?
yeah, I think I lost you. Did you lose me?
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my fault, not yours. That was mine. We're still recording, so you can just go back. I fixed something that was going on with my connection, and now it's like good now. Um,
Okay.
so you were talking about the UFC
What was the last
fights
part?
and going to his house. That's where
Okay.
it's
And so
stopped.
okay, so I was walking through his garage, and uh, his wife was leading me, and I saw a uniform, a gi, hanging up in the garage, drying. And I'm like, "What is this?" She's like, "Oh, Mark started jujitsu like 8 months ago." She's like, "He didn't tell you?" I'm like, "That son of a gun. No, he didn't tell me." And so she's like, "Yeah, he just wanted to be better at you whenever you started so he could beat you up, basically." And I'm like, all right, I see how it is. So the very next day, I went to jujitsu class with him, and I was hooked. I was hooked. I loved it. I used to wrestle in high school, and I was lifting weights at the time. I was really strong. But I was just kind of bored with it. And then so I found jujitsu, and I just fell in love with it. And
What
so
were
that's how I got started.
what were you like comparing jujitsu to wrestling at that moment, when you started? I mean, what was the compare and contrast?
Well, the wrestling on day one, I mean, not patting myself too hard, but on day one, I was doing really well against the other guys in class because of the wrestling. Only thing sucked was my cardio, but I could hold them down and pin them down and stuff like that. I didn't know any moves, of course, but I could hold them down and pin them down. And so by having that experience, it, it made me, in my interest grow really fast. Like just say if I didn't have any experience, I don't know if I would have took to it as I did, but having that wrestling background, I saw a little success right off the bat. And anytime you see a little success, you're looking for more and for more and for more, and then that's how that happened. And
I hear
so I
that a
stayed
lot.
with that.
I hear that a lot with jujitsu as far as like, it almost sounds like the person wants to continue to crack the puzzle or something with jujitsu, like it's an ongoing puzzle. It's an ongoing,
Yeah,
um, lesson. You're continuously learning more. It's like you'll never, know everything, that kind of thing. Is that kind of how it is? Because it's
hundred
so
percent, 100%.
technical and
I, I've
mental.
I've learned more jujitsu since I've received my black belt uh, almost 12 years ago than I did leading up to my black belt. They say that, once you get your black belt, it starts all over again. And it's the truth, because it's a whole different, you just
Because
look at
it
it a
does
different
it
way.
become even more mental at that point, like more um
Yeah. Yeah.
anticipation and mental
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that. Yes.
technical.
Definitely. Definitely. Definitely.
So
For
it's
the
like you
longest
get to a
time, you just
certain
want to
point where
win.
it's just like you're just whole nother level. Yeah.
Well, for the longest time, you just want to win. You just want to do good. And then after a while, you start figuring out how to get better, not being stronger and being faster and all that helps, but it's only going to get you so far. And once you accept the techniques and uh and you get deeper into it, the more success comes easier.
Okay. Is it also kind of like, your muscle memory gets better as well?
All of that, all of that. Yeah, your reflexes, your body just knows what to do now. Instead of that whole fight harder thing. It's not that. It's smarter,
Yeah.
not harder.
So you're able to kind of like focus more on the mental and everything kind of slows down, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. We'll continue. Started jujitsu.
So I started jujitsu. I fell in love with it. It took about, I think I got my blue belt like in 8 months, and then I was hooked, like really hooked. As a white belt, I probably did 6 competitions, and when I got my blue belt, the first competition I did, I flew to Brazil and did a tournament in Brazil. It was the International Masters tournament.
Okay.
And I've only been doing jujitsu probably, like I said, about 10, 11 months at that time, maybe a year at that time.
Okay.
And I went down there and I got to experience the culture, and I got humbled, and I did pretty good. I got third out of all those guys. I was excited about that. So that made me, when I got
Yeah.
back to the United States, I got even more hooked, and I probably did, I don't know, man, probably 8 tournaments as a blue belt, and then finally after I think about a year and a half, I got my purple belt, and I probably did. I would only do the IBJJF tournaments. I wouldn't do any local tournaments. I only wanted to do the biggest tournaments with the best people, and so, like I said, I just got more and more and more and more to the competing aspect of it, and just loved it, because I saw
You know,
improvement.
yeah. So that's one thing I keep hearing there's a pattern here. I hear people talk about, I got more into it, more and more and more and more. It also, it makes it sound like there's just this continuous improvement almost weekly or monthly. And that's kind of what's gearing this like excitement because you're improving continuously. You're continuously progressing. Is
So
that
yeah,
true?
and you do hit these plateaus, and that's real. And I remember one time when I was at blue belt level, I remember telling myself, "Look, this is the youngest I'm going to be, the fastest I'm going to be, the strongest I'm going to be at this age right now. How am I ever going to get any better if I'm just getting older and weaker and slower? How am I ever
Yeah.
going to get any better? Because that was one of those plateaus I had hit. And then just something happened, once I got that purple belt, just things started changing. Like my mindset changed. I knew that I knew I was never going to stop doing jujitsu. And so when I got my purple belt, I went and got my first jujitsu tattoos. And I told myself, well, if you do this, you're in it for life. You know what I'm saying? So I got these two tattoos, jujitsu is para vida, for life. And I knew that, like, I was never going to stop. And so that was just confirmation by doing that, you're in it for life. So that's where I'm at.
It,
I'll be 60 in a couple of months. I
how old
started
were
when I
you
was
at that
42.
time?
I was 42 when I started,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
and I,
I'm 40 right now, so it's easy for me to kind of like, yeah, yeah, like put myself in that. Yeah, man, like I'm
yeah.
not thinking it at all. I mean, of course, it's more of like, I mean, I don't train, so it's more like a time thing for me. But even if I did have time, there is that thing of like, I'm, I mean, I'm only 40, but I'm thinking, like 10 years from now, even 5 years from now, it's just going to be harder on my body, every 5 years, let's say. Yeah. It's not like something very exciting. But what it sounds like, you're saying something that most people say is kind of like, it's just like something that hooks you really. And I think it's kind of hard for somebody to get over the fact that it's not as much physical as it is mental. It's actually more of a mental sport than it is a physical sport. And I guess once you start doing it, you've done it for a year or so, your body adapts as well. I'm just thinking about, somebody in their 40s, 50s, 60s. How in the world do they keep doing that? Do
Like I
you
said,
learn you start to learn
it
how to, like,
slows
move,
down.
slows
It
down?
slows down. Well, because you're using like more mental, and you're setting up your techniques. You're not muscling through your techniques. You're using, off balance stuff that you didn't use when you were in your lower belts. Like I said, when you're in your lower belts, you just rely a lot on your strength and your speed and your and agility. And as you get older, you lose some of those. You lose those things, and so that's whenever you have to rely more on your technique and you get more into it and you start figuring out what works and what really works and what doesn't work. And
And I
like I
guess your
said,
your body kinda, like, improves as well too. I mean, you
oh,
get stronger, of
absolutely.
course. Yeah, even though you're
Yeah.
aging, you're getting stronger too. I didn't think of
Your
that.
grips get really strong and yeah, yeah. Um, I don't know how often you hear this, but and I hear it, but jujitsu changed my life. It not just for it changed my life for like the better all the way around as a human, as a father, as a partner, all the way around because you take other people's feelings into consideration. You take their you're not so quick to judge. It teaches you patience. Um, yeah, I was a whole different person before, and then years into it, I just changed. For the better, absolutely for the better.
Kinda everybody says that, yeah.
And it's the truth. And on my belt, I have a little patch, a little small patch on my black belt that says "Jiu-Jitsu changed my." No, Jiu-Jitsu saved my life, and it's the truth. It's the honest to God's truth. I have a whole different
Hmm.
path now.
In what regard?
Um, well, so for instance, when I first started jujitsu, I was an electrical contractor. And so I did that for a long time. And I eventually moved from California back to Louisiana, where I'm from. And I went to one of the schools locally, and it wasn't the same. They had like cliques and this and that because at that time jiu-jitsu wasn't widespread in Louisiana, so there was very few schools, only one or two black belts in the whole state. And so it was just different than what I was used to in California, where it'd been for years, and there's lots of black belts and lots of schools and lots of students. And um
So there was more ego in this other, yeah,
yeah,
in the school in Louisiana
absolutely,
because it
because they
hadn't been
hadn't
around
been
as
through.
much, yeah. Mhm.
Exactly, exactly. And they haven't lived that life yet. They hadn't experienced everything yet. So I ended up leaving that school and offered a job at another school to teach. I went there for a while. I taught for a while, and it was more like a boxing gym type of atmosphere, and it just wasn't the jujitsu culture that I I learned and I missed. And so I ended up opening my own academy while I was still a electrical contractor. And then I ran that small academy for a couple years. And I remember one of my friends, one of my mentors, I'd asked him, about some advice, and he asked, well, how many students do you have now? And this was like a year in. I'm like, oh, I got like 25. He's like, well, you got a jujitsu club. You don't have a jujitsu, you know, academy, a team. And and that hit me really hard. It hit me really hard. He was right, he was right. And and so I started focusing more on the school and less on work, and started doing different things, taking advice, asking questions. And I think 13 years later, we have like 300 students, two academies. I have
Mm.
um a fifth
13
degree
years
black
later, you
belt.
yeah,
But
uh,
yeah, yeah.
trying to
Now
the time frame, yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it just, you know, the more I put into it, the more it gave back to me. And I was starting to get back what I was putting in,
Mm.
loyalty from students, people just wanting to help, people just wanting to learn. You have to teach these guys, what it's about, because you have to let them know it's not. You got to leave your ego at the door. It's not about coming here beating people up. It's about coming here learning, and and making friends, it, and it's it's not about winning all the time. It's about growing and helping people.
Is there any difference between jujitsu culture and MMA culture?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What is that
Absolutely.
difference?
Um,
I'm sure everybody has a different answer, or explains it differently. But if you could just have a go at
yeah,
it.
for
Maybe
me,
you're not able to say everything you want to say about it, but if you can kind of
for me,
have a go.
the Jiu-Jitsu Academy, I mean, the Jiu-Jitsu community, it's a close-knit community. People are going to help each other. They're going to help you if you need help at your house or whatever, any kind of help you need. They're just like, it's more about the team. Um, MMA is more about yourself. The team too, but it's more about yourself. Um, you go compete on your own, you go to fights, on your own with your coach and whatnot. But in jujitsu, we all go as a team to the tournaments. There's a bunch of us that go together, we compete together and all that. And MMA, it's more like a single thing. Yeah, you train with your coach and you train with your team, but it's not, I don't think they're as close, and willing to help each other like the jujitsu community is, because it's more families in jujitsu. It's women, it's men, it's kids, it's
Yeah,
other family members that come to
that's a part of it.
support. And the MMA part is just not like that.
Sure,
Not there's
sure.
anything against it. It's just that's the difference to me. It's more of
Yeah,
a
I know it's hard to
community.
describe.
Yeah. It's more of a community, thing than MMA.
When you go compete in jujitsu, is it ever competing as a team? I know you're individual, but you know what I'm saying? Is it ever like this team places this?
Yeah, so they have points. They have a point system, and
Yeah.
for that, like if you win first, you get so many points. If you win, second, you get so many points, and they add those totals up. And at the end of the tournament, there's a tournament champion, like the team champion. Um, and so you
Okay.
work for points together to better your chances of winning.
Okay. So of course there's individual placements, but there's also the team
Absolutely,
placement at the
absolutely.
end. Okay.
Absolutely. But yeah, like they may have 25 different teams represented, at a tournament, but um, only 4 or 5 of those teams are going to bring 15 or 20 competitors to compete to vie for that team trophy.
And in MMA, it's only an individual, of course, right? Or you tell me
Yes.
maybe. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Tell me why do people love it there at the academy at Bayou Jiu
I
Jitsu?
think it's I think it's we do more um we have a lot of families for one. So I preach about kids and women, and that's who I advertise most to, kids and women and men too, but men are going to come. They're going to come because their kids started, or their wife has been bringing the kids, and they think it would be something good for the whole family. Um Us personally, we do things outside of the academy. We do like I have a 4th of July party every year, and I invite the whole team and all their family members. And the way I pay for that is we have in-house tournaments. So the registration is $40.
Mm,
We have our in-house tournaments, which they're phenomenal. I mean, that's like the highlight of the year when that happens. They love it. And we'll take that money and we'll buy all the medals and nice big fat medals, and we'll give we have some sponsors. And so, do you know what Raising Cane's is?
yes. There's
So
a new one in Pensacola, just opened last week.
one of our students, the parent, he's a rep for them, and he gives us this big stack of free kids canes meals. So at the
Mm,
tournament when they win that, I'll give them that. They get their medal, and then
yeah.
like I said, we take that money and we have a huge party. I have a farm, 24-acre farm, and we have
Oh, I'm
cows, and
20 acres. I have my family has 20 acres. Almost same. Yeah.
so there you go.
Bit of a farm.
So we
Yeah.
have yeah, and so I have tons of chickens, and we have goats, and we have a big pond full of fish. So
Yeah.
we'll invite everybody over. We have one guy who cooks all the food for everybody, so they don't pay for anything. And we have a huge water slide for the big kids class. We have a huge water slide for the little kids class. Last year we had a mechanical bull set up for the adults to do. And so it's
Okay.
just we do that kind of stuff. It's all about the families to me, you know? And so
Yeah.
yeah, we like to compete. We love to compete, but I like seeing the families together, you know, and it's awesome, man. It's really awesome.
Yeah. I guess, the reason why, jujitsu is such a family atmosphere is because it's so accessible, right? I mean, anybody can do it. The kids can do it all the way from like, just out of diapers if you want, but yeah. Um, well, thanks, man, for being on. Can you, as we close this, can you tell the people who are watching who are thinking about doing it or getting their kids into it, what kind of advice would you have for them?
Um, for like for kids, I think I've never had a kid come to the door that I can think of that didn't like it. That didn't like it. They always love it because we have games for the kids. It's all learning games, and they love it. We start out with an obstacle course. They love that. And then we go
Mm.
to a little teaching, and then we get to train, and they play some dodgeball at the end. I'm talking about the little kids class.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
the parents just freaking love it. The kids love it. The only problems that ever come up is it's usually the parents have trouble getting the kids to class or whatever. You know,
yeah.
that's usually why they end up quitting, you know, um or they move or something like that. Our retention is really good. You know, they love the class, you know, they really love the class. Um for parents, they see where their kid the level where they come in at, and then how they're progressing, not just better on the mat, but they're better at home. Their grades are better. They're more respectful to their teachers. That's the biggest thing I hear is it's changed my kid. Like my kid is very respectful now. You know, they're doing better in school. They treat their brothers and sisters better. Um, and that all comes from our coaches, you know, our instructors, you know, instilling that, you know, being respectful, you know. When you walk in my academy, the first thing you see are these huge signs. It's it's probably 40 feet long. It's up. We have a big tall ceiling in the academy, and it says respect, um, discipline on this one, respect, and then loyalty, and then and those three things we really push those things, you know.
Mm, mm. And what about an adult thinking about getting into it?
Uh, I would say my best advice for adults is no expectations. You don't have to come in trying to prove something. Nobody's going to beat you up. Everybody just wants to help you. They want to help you get better so that you become a better training partner, and then you work your way up to that, you know. But everybody's going to want to help you when you first get there. Nobody's going to want to beat you up. I think adults have that fear of I'm going to suck. I don't know anything. Oh, I have to lose weight before I go. I have to get in better shape before I start. That's all bull. That happens when you get there. It happens in a slow, you know, pace, and then you just grow to where you want to be. You know,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah, I mean, newcomers are
they're
helping
intimidated.
the
They're
people who
intimidated.
have
You
been
know,
there, right?
they're intimidated. You know,
Them themselves are helping the people who have been training as well,
and, and then
especially if
yeah, then
go ahead.
well, I was going to say, like what you said, like you were going to say, I think, they start out as know nothing, and then they start learning a little bit more, and then they see that next group of white belts come in, And then now they're helping that group of white belts,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that white they go, and then they help the next group when they come. So it really builds trust, and it builds loyalty, and it builds camaraderie, and that's what it's all about.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on. I'd love for you to be on again. Maybe we can do like a tour of the place or something, uh,
Yeah.
and see everybody there. That'd be cool. Um, I really appreciate your story and what you guys are doing. It sounds really fun. What you guys are doing for the families there, and I hope you enjoy your 4th of July party next week. It sounds like more fun than work, actually.
It's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be phenomenal. I mean, they got kids fishing in the pond's full of
Oh,
fish, and they bring their fishing poles, and like I said, they have the 2 water slides. We have something for the adults. Everybody brings a dish. We got one of my students fishes. We have free catfish. I'll butcher a cow sometimes, and we do hamburgers for everybody, and it's
mm,
just it's an amazing culture we have grown over here, and I couldn't think of anything else I'd rather be doing in my life. My life is just
yeah,
perfect. I love it,
doing what you
and
love, right?
jujitsu gave me that life. It gave me that life. It really
Mm.
did.
Well, thank you, man. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you have fun next week. And I really appreciate you being on.
I appreciate what you're doing too. What you're doing is important. It really is. And telling the story of other academies and their coaches and how they got started, and it might kickstart somebody to want to try.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe even you.
Thank you, man. Of course, I will eventually, right? It's
I
just
think you
time.
will.
I
I
think.
think you will. I think you will.
All right, man. You take care. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Okay. Thank you, man.